beautiful people. My name is Folake Agonbiade, the customer seductress. And I'm so pumped to be back on my YouTube channel again this week. If this is your first time, you're just encountering what we do here on the Customer Seduction channel, thank you for dropping by. Do me a quick favor, look below. Yes, there's something in red. It's a red button. It says subscribe. Click on the subscribe button and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Beside it, there's a notification bell. Click on it so that you can get a notification every single time I upload a new video. I'm sure you're wondering, why do I even have to subscribe? When you click the subscribe button, what you're doing is you're helping us build this community here on YouTube. And you are also saying a thank you for the value that you're getting. So, click it now. Click, 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 click. It doesn't bite. Click once and it will say subscribed. If you are one of our frequent returners, you know now, clan people, my yard people, I have mad love for you guys. I don't joke with your matter. I take you seriously. Thank you for always coming back. If you missed last week's video, wow, the concluding part of behavioral change part 2. You need to check it out. It's right there. If you have not watched part 1, 2, check it out. You need to watch those 2 videos before you watch this one, because it's going to change how you handle what we'll be talking about today. Today, we'll be talking about a topic I am extremely passionate about. Maybe because my life is tied to this topic. On a lot of levels, I identify with it. I kind of get it on a lot of levels. And I have come to realize that a lot of us are also going through what I'll be discussing today. Today, we're handling pressure productively. Yes, handling pressure productively. Pressure is something that we experience every single day. It happens in our everyday life. It starts early. It starts from when we're in school. Once you are born into this world and you begin to comprehend the world you exist in and interact with it, pressure starts. It starts from pressure at school, about getting good grades, being acceptable, peer pressure, so many types of pressure you face as a teenager, going through puberty, going through life changes. It all comes with these pressures. I'm a teens coach, and my teenagers are always telling me, Auntie, you can't understand. But they sometimes forget I was a teenager and I felt those pressures as well. Now, the pressure evolves as you go older. You're done with school, pressure in university, pressure to blend in, pressure to getting a job when you're done with school, pressure to move up the corporate ladder or become successful in your chosen career, pressure to finding the one and getting married, having babies, pressure. We all go through pressure. I personally have felt a lot of pressure for a very long part of my life. I've had to deal with so many things that if I were going to share my life experience here, you'll be like, how does she keep it all together? You can't tell me you've gone through this stuff and you're still here. Sometimes I feel like I'm literally carrying a piano on my back or an elephant on my stomach. Pressure can weigh you down, but in reality, it almost never shows on me how much pressure I'm actually under. I think I'm one of those person that it's like a cat with 9 lives. All praise to God for the help of God and so many other things that have helped me handle pressure. That's why I decided to take this particular episode. Too much pressure, however, can make a lot of us angry, fed up, sad, disconnected from those who love us and who care about us. Or simply over time, you knock out cold with burnout. But in this part of the world, there is a regular saying that soldier never die. Black people don't feel pressure. We all do feel pressure. That's the first point to acknowledge. We all feel pressure. And there are two kinds of pressure: internal and external. Internal pressure stems from pushing yourself too hard or from worrying about your ability to meet other people's expectation of you. Sometimes it's not even your own expectations. It's what other people think about you, your family members, your friends, and those that you sometimes even have about yourself. You're putting yourself under pressure. You might drive yourself to become your organization's number one point man, for example, or even doubt your own ability to perform at a speaking engagement. All this are part of the internal pressures that we feel every day. External pressures, however, comes from circumstances, that happen with people around you. For instance, you have a micromanager as a boss. They make you work in a certain way. They give you a heavy workload that exceeds your capacity to deliver. Sometimes people make demands on you, all around you. This is not expectations. It's just, we know you're good at this. Come and do this here, do this here. Everybody wants a piece of you. And sometimes your external pressures are not just connected to your job. It might be connected to how you work. Long commuting to work. People who live on the island. People who live on the mainland in Lagos, for instance, and have to travel all the way to the island, spending 6, 7 hours, 5 hours in traffic. Illnesses, external pressure. Financial difficulties, paying your rent, paying your bills, family responsibility, taking care of your children. I identify with that so much. I think this is my 5th year of living my life without a maid. And initially, it felt very overwhelming. I had to do some certain things to help me handle that pressure because I'm not a very domesticated person. But I love to have a clean house. I love to have food. I love to eat good food. So I had to do a number of things to handle my external pressure. All these kind of external pressures weigh heavily on you and they affect how you behave. So there's internal pressure, there's external pressure. Having said that, the idea that increasing pressure stimulates people to perform until an optimum point is reached dates back to the 1908s. Yes. People actually sometimes think that pressure is all bad. Psychologists Robert Yex and John Dunson found out that when pressure exceeds the maximum point, it has opposite effects on the people who are under pressure, and people performance begins to suffer. This conclusion holds till today. The negative impact of pressure first shows with mild dissatisfaction with your life, with your work, with everything around you, with your relationships, and a minor deterioration begins to happen in the quality of your work, of your life. When pressure, however, becomes excessive, you can succumb to stress, anxiety, and unhappiness. So you need to know how much pressure you can manage because pressure is not entirely bad. Yes. Pressure is not entirely bad because pressure can stimulate you to achieve a lot of things in life. If only you know how much pressure you need and how to harness and control it. However, be careful not to confuse pressure with stress. They're two different things. Yeah, a lot of times we just think pressure and stress are the same thing. They are different. Pressure can have a very positive quality. Experiencing it and yet feeling in control and calm. A lot of times I go through pressure and the best of me comes out in pressure. My husband laughs at me. If I have a training, I don't do my slides 2 weeks ahead. He does that if he has a training. But I like to be under a bit of pressure to just walk. My creative juices flow when there's so much capacity is built. For me, that doesn't work for everybody. It can't work for everybody. For my husband, it doesn't work. So pressure can have a positive quality. When you're experiencing it and yet you feel calm and in control, it can spur you to achieve greater things. It's only when it keeps building and that sense of calm and order is replaced by a feeling of being out of control that stress happens. So pressure triggers stress, but they're not the same thing. And stress has a wholly negative feeling. If you don't manage your stress levels, it can affect you emotionally, physically, mentally. Your mental health can be messed up by stress. So it's something you need to consider and think about in the coming days as you learn to handle pressure productively. Let me quickly give us 5 ways to handle pressure productively that I have used and has helped me to take pressure and use it as a motivator and not a debilitating form of stress. Number 1, find your center. Yeah, find your happy place. Figure out what your core stress is that is causing anxiety. Localize your issues when you're under pressure. Identify it and deal with it. A lot of times I say to my friends and family, whenever I feel they're overwhelmed, I say, localize it. What's the issue? What do you think is so much that is so overwhelming that you can't connect with anybody around you? You're just in a bubble. You're just not existing. Find it, localize it, deal with it. Identify it. Make sure that you deal with it. Number 2, write things down. Limit all the external noise by writing all your important action points. Focus on what is important. You know what is important. Don't let external pressure tell you what is important. Pick your battles. Yeah, like I like to say. I pick my victories carefully. I pick my battles carefully. Do so. Write down and do so. Realistically, what you need to achieve and attend to each item. Number 3, work out. Yes, I work out. I don't play with my exercise. Those who know me, they see me on the jogging trail. Breaking a sweat can help you clear your head. Exercise is proven to reduce stress. When I started working out, my stress levels dropped drastically. I could handle pressure without feeling stress. Number 4, build self-care. Care for yourself. Schedule downtime to have your own time. Some days I just lock it down. I don't go anywhere. I don't do work. I do me. Do you. Have a day for doing you. Don't do everybody else and not do you. Watch my video on self-care. It will help you. Self-care is life care. I have a video on it. Look for it on my page and watch it. It will help you. Number 5, ask for help. It's okay to ask someone to help you. Reach out to someone. Talk to someone to diffuse your pressure. Have a go-to person. I've had to tell myself that that's an area I also need to work on more. But I've discovered that talking about your stress can really reduce your stress level. Ask for help. Number 6, focus on the process and not the outcome. Detaching from possible outcomes is very important. Just keep your focus on what you need to achieve that will make it easier to both live and live up to your potentials. When you do that, you'll be reducing many of your inner and mental obstacles, such as performance anxiety and other worries. Some of us are too tied to our internal emotions. They are messing you up. They are not allowing you focus on your process. It's a journey. Nobody's journey is the same. We all have different paths, but the outcomes will evolve as you go. Focus on the process and not the outcome. Other people's outcome is not your outcome, but your process will determine what outcome you are going to have in your personal journey. Number 7, and the very last one, reframe negative thoughts. Train your mind to be calmer by tackling negative thoughts head on. Make sure that you put each situation in perspective. What I like to say, resolving things internally. You need to be able to resolve stuff. It's not the end of the world. First you'll do X, then you'll do Y. And if you can still move on to X and Y, do so until you feel empowered. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Peter Marshall, a former chaplain in the United States Senate, once said, "When we long for a life without difficulties, be reminded that oaks grow strong in contrary winds and diamonds are made under pressure." Don't get it twisted. No matter how hard this feels right now, you will come out on the other side. Capacity is being built under pressure, especially if you pick your battles wisely. Someone also said this, and that quote inspired me. Change is a door that can only be opened from inside. You have got to decide what you're going to change your tolerance and acceptance of in your life. And the things that bring pressure in your environment, you have got to change you before you can release the pressure that you're facing. If you're yet to subscribe to this YouTube channel, don't forget, click below, subscribe. Don't forget to comment. Yes, type us a short note. Like. Yes. And share this video with family and friends. If you've not done that and you watch this video, you haven't done well. Every single one that watches it, give us a thumbs up. Until I come back into your faces, same time next week, it's your girl, Folake Agonbiade, aka the Customer Seductress. I am out. Bye.